All right, guys, how we feeling? Come on, we can do better than that. How we feeling?
Great.
We're excited, right? New schedule already dropped, 4A. Everything looks promising for us. So I'm going to start out here. We have a lot of things that we want to talk about with the varsity program and how we're going to move going forward. I'm going to start with the coaching staff first and then kind of break down with how we're going to go off season and leading up to summer and stuff. So to start out with our coaching staff, first is Jim McKenzie. Jim is going to be my associate head coach this year. He's also going to be coaching running backs and linebackers. Next, we have Jared Curcio. Jared's going to be our defensive coordinator. He's going to coach linebackers and tight ends. New addition this year is Justice Evans. He's going to be our offensive coordinator. He's going to coach wide receivers and DBs. Coach Roger Kreider, he's going to be our O-line and D-line coach. He's also our strength coach. Coach Luke Lander is going to be our pass game coordinator on defense, also with the DBs and the wide receivers. Coach Dalton Ham is going to be with our D-line and then our offensive line, and he's going to be my guy that's my academic liaison for us this year. And then we have Jeff Treichler. He's going to be one of our volunteers. We use Jeff everywhere. He right hand for me, helping me out with a lot of stuff here. With this coaching staff, as you can see, I've been here for 3 years, and a lot of these guys have been the same guys that have been here throughout those past couple years. So basically what I'm saying with that is it doesn't matter who the head coach is. These guys are all bought into the Kiski area program and wants to see us succeed and go further than what we've been able to do in the past, right? So moving on past the coaching staff. To start out here, we're going to talk about our off-season training and our lifting. So, for the past couple weeks, we've been going 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We start at 3:05 and we go till 4:30, strength and conditioning, working out in the weight room. And then Tuesday, Thursday, we transition for speed and agility. Wednesday, we'll do football-specific drills according to what we want to do for that week, whether it's offense, defense, depending on, what we're installing and stuff like that. Something that I have been doing recently is on Mondays. The guys are coming into the LGI into here, and we're just breaking down basic football stuff. So we're not into general scheme yet. It's just simple stuff to get these guys up to speed with what verbiage and things we're talking about when we talk about general football stuff. So before we can really get into what we want to do, offense, defense, and special teams, we got to understand the basics and the little things that go into playing football there. So with our off season, it's basically broken down per phase. So with that, each week it's going to be the same lift for 4 weeks, and then it changes up into new lifts, but we're using tempos and different stuff that go into all that. This year, something new that we are trying to implement and add here. So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Grissetti Performance out in Newcastle, but, multiple professional athletes. Andrew McCutcheon's one. JP Holtz plays tight end in the NFL, and a couple different guys. They run a program where basically you sign up for it, and they put everything into an app with videos of exactly what you're supposed to do while you're working out. So that is something we're implementing for the kids. It's a lot for the guys that are playing multiple sports throughout so that they can see stuff if they're working out on their own or doing stuff there, and it logs everything for us with, how much weight they were using and everything on that aspect. That should be everything for our off-season training stuff. Going into our spring stuff. So obviously with the weather not being nice, we're contained to the gym. Once it starts getting nice, we're going to start getting outside, still staying on that 3-day schedule up until we get to our spring ball, which is, where are we at here?
May 19th.
So May 19th. The thing about that week of the May 19th is the 18th, there is going to be a mega camp for upcoming juniors and seniors. Guys that were interested in playing college football. Basically what they're doing is a bunch of high school coaches got together and made it simple for college coaches to come through and recruit different areas all at one time. So the 18th, we will be going to Hempfield, and there will be us with 5 other schools. We'll all be there there's already over 125 different college coaches that are signed up so far. So the 18th, we'll be going to that, and then we'll start our spring ball from the 19th up until the 22nd, and then the following week, the 26th through the 28th. Something we're going to do different this year for the 28th, for that last day of our spring ball. We're going to implement more of like a college type deal for our spring ball event. Make it more real for the kids and have more fun with it. So we are going to, numbers available, we're going to break up into 2 groups, Team A versus Team B, and we're going to do competition stuff for that entire day of spring ball. So we're going to get away from just, running plays consistently, conditioning, doing everything like that. Kind of have a good way to kick off the end of our spring ball season right there. Going forward past that, we'll have 1 week in between that. So our spring ball will end. We'll have 1 week of our normal lifts, just Tuesday through Thursday, and then we'll have a complete players off week, and then we'll roll straight into our summer workouts. We are going to work out 4 days a week, 8 to 11 in the morning. It'll be Monday through Thursday. Attendance isn't mandatory, but it's one of those things that we want to make sure that everybody's there. We talk about it now with the weight room. The more guys that we're getting in there, the more we are becoming a better team and the more we all struggle together. Anything else for that? Missing anything? Good here? HEDAC? Okay. Coaches, anything? I missed anything? Does anybody have any questions for me? I know I talked a little fast trying to fly through everything.
What was the app you were talking about?
So it's going to be called Team Builder. So we're working right now with trying to get phone numbers for all the guys to get them all put into that system. But I've been direct contact with the guy from Grissetti, like planning out the workouts and stuff like that. So once we get all the phone numbers and everybody into that system, then we'll start implementing all that with our workouts. So good. Good. Thank you guys.